Yeah, so my name is Jenny Smucker. I've been coming to NLCF for a little over a year now. And so today I'm going to be talking about some ways that the Lord has guided me and has really provided for me and just has sort of reassured me that I'm going on the path that He wants. Because that's been something that I've had to learn in life is like, I've always wondered, how do I know if I'm doing what the Lord wants for me? How do I know if I'm going the way I'm supposed to be going? And like, what if I'm over here and the Lord wants me over here? And so in the past few years, He's been teaching me kind of how to, I guess, figure out how to He's reassured me, I should say, that I'm doing what I need to be doing. So a little background about me. I'm from Oregon. I grew up in a Mennonite church there. And so I was, saved at a young age. My dad was a pastor, all that sort of thing. So I always wanted to go in the way that the Lord wanted for me. And so when I graduated from the small Mennonite high school that I went to, I decided to go to college, which was somewhat unusual. Not a lot of women from my community did that, especially not into STEM fields, which I decided to go into math. But I felt like the Lord was saying it was probably what I should do, and I enjoyed it. So I was like, cool, let's do this. And then especially once I got into school, I was like, yeah, I think the Lord wants me here. But I was paying for college on my own. So I was working really hard during the summers at a farm job to try and pay for school. And I remember there was one summer specifically that at the beginning I calculated up how much school was going to cost me and how much I was going to make, and I realized that it was not quite financially feasible for me. After tallying everything up, I was $4,000 short, and I thought, oh no. So I came to the Lord, and I was like, God, I'm pretty sure you want me here. Seems like you've been saying this is where you want me, but I can't I don't know how I'm going to get this $4,000. So if you want me here, God, I'm going to need you to do something. So I brought that to Him and then, went to sleep. The next day I was at work and I get an email, and here I had won a scholarship that I had completely forgotten that I had applied for. And it was for $4,000. Exactly what I needed. And so I was like, all right, yeah, thank you, God. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep doing what you want. Now, one thing about me is that I love a plan. I like to know what's going to happen in my life. I like to know where I'm going and know how I'm going to get there. And so I had a whole plan set out for me. I was going to become a high school math teacher. So I was going to get my degree in math, do a year of math education to get do a master's in math education. There was a year-long program that I could do, and then I was going to stay in Oregon and I was going to teach math. That was what I was going to do. But the thing about the Lord is that He doesn't always quite agree with what our plans are. And so when COVID hit, it felt like a lot of my world was upended. I was teaching at a small Mennonite high school then, and I was starting to realize that maybe high school wasn't what the Lord wanted for me, and maybe staying in Oregon wasn't what the Lord wanted for me. And then it felt like all at once. I was like, all right, something's changing. I need to figure out what to do next, because the plan that I have isn't what the Lord wants. And so I ended up deciding to go to grad school and to leave Oregon. Applied to a bunch of different places, including Virginia Tech, obviously, and got in a few places, and then I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't really know what area of math I wanted to go into. It kind of felt like I was just diving in and figuring out what was going to happen. And so I was like, okay, Virginia Tech seems like maybe the best place out of these ones, so I guess I'll go there. But then once I was decided to go there, it was like, all right, well, now I have to find a place to live. Because that's generally, a good thing to have is a place to live. But I was across the country at the time, right? I was in Oregon, and so trying to find an apartment was a struggle. It seemed like every avenue I was trying to go down to find one wasn't working. There were places that seemed good, but they needed me to tour them, and I couldn't because obviously it was on the other side of the country. There were places that seemed like they would work well, but then just the financial things weren't quite working out, or was way out of my budget. And so I didn't know what to do. Once again, felt like I was at a dead end. And so again, I came to the Lord and I said, God, I don't know what to do here. I can't I can't seem to figure this out. If this is what you want me to do, I'm going to need you to make a way for me. And then, left it at that. And once again, the next morning, I was scrolling through a website with some rental listings and happened to refresh it, and there, posted 20 minutes ago, was the perfect place. And so I immediately emailed the guy and got it all figured out and got the apartment. It was the perfect location, well within my price range, and I don't think I could have gotten it on my own. I think that was very much of the Lord and him saying, yes, here, this is where you're going, this is where I want you. And all that together kind of reminds me, I use these to remind me that when I don't know if what I'm doing is where the Lord wants me, or I feel like I am where the Lord wants me, but I don't know how I can possibly move forward, that God is not unreasonable. If he wants you somewhere, he's going to tell you. And if he wants you to be somewhere, he's not going to make it impossible for you to be there. And so I guess maybe that's what I'll share with you, is that if you are supposed to be, you are supposed to be where the Lord wants you to be. But if you feel like you can't get there, God will provide a way, because if he wants you there, he'll help you get there.